2 shades fell out. Okay, they are not baked in this pan very well. Hi, thank you so much for being with me here today for this video, which is going to be my very first time to play with the Natasha Denona gold palette as the actual gold palette. I'll explain, but first, if you're new here, hi, I'm Michelle. I post a lot of makeup and some nail polish content too, so if that sounds interesting to you, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. It would really mean so much to me. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into the palette. This palette has actually been sold out for quite some time. It was actually listed as discontinued on her website for some time, but I think Natasha Denona heard the incredible demand worldwide, the worldwide pleas from everybody to please bring the gold palette back so that we can have a chance to order it. And I love that she did that for us. Let's take a look at this beauty. Ooh, that's really pretty. Okay, I will say, if you're not new to my channel, this is the new one here. You know I have purchased the gold palette in the past. Here is what my palette looks like. When I first got it, the shimmers weren't really my thing. I wasn't really into shimmers yet. So I pulled all of them out. You can see here are a couple of them. I have touched it once finally. But what made me purchase another palette was when I rearranged those palettes, I put my aquas right here into this palette, and I took out, what did I take from there? I can't remember. I have the key to the breakdown of my Natasha Denona brown matte palette. That's what I call it. That's what I call the one that I had previously when I took it apart and took out all the shimmers. But this is what happened. You might be able to see here, that's a pan. That's not, that's not the beautiful, rich, deep, cream to powder matte teal that is supposed to be in the gold palette. Mine fell out of here and broke and shattered and is actually stained all over the carpet underneath me where I'm sitting currently. So every time I see that spot, it would just break my heart that I didn't have the teals to play with in the Natasha Denona gold palette. And so because of that, I didn't want to put my gold palette back together because it would be missing. It would have a hole in the palette like that one did, like this one now does. But I don't really use this palette hardly ever. So I figured it wouldn't bother me if there was a hole in this one because I don't see it. This is the Natasha Denona 10 pan that she first started off with. It's okay, but her formula has come a long, long way since then. So this isn't exactly one of my favorite palettes, but it does have some really beautiful shades in there that I do enjoy and I need to get some more use out of. But anyway, so this palette here is the Natasha Denona Gold palette, the Ayana palette, and a shade or two from the Natasha Denona 10 pan. And I really love this palette the way that it is. As you can see, I have gotten some pretty good use out of a lot of those shades. But I've gotten more and more into shimmers now that I've gotten more comfortable with eyeshadow. And, and I really wanted to know why everybody loved this palette so much, but I wanted to have it intact so that I could actually use the shades the way Natasha Denona intended. So I'm really excited that she made this available again so that I could get a new one to, I basically essentially bought this palette for this one cream to powder matte. That shade better look nice on me. That's all I got to say. Anyway, I'm really, really excited to get into this palette today. So let me get my eyes primed. I'll get you zoomed in and we'll get started. Okay, I've got my eyes primed and I'm ready to get into this palette. Now, the irony of this whole situation here is that I'm not even going to use the teal shades today. I know. I know. It's just, that's not the color vibe that I'm feeling today, but I will use them tomorrow. I am going to do 2 looks with this palette, so tomorrow I will get into the teals for sure. But this gold palette is actually giving me some yucca vibes. Okay, so even more now. Next to each other, you can see that these are teals and these are greens. This is not a teal, okay? In the yucca palette, it's not a teal. In the gold palette, it's a teal. And it does look like that, like one mustard shade in here in the gold palette. It is a deeper matte. And the browns that are in here are a different tone and depth than that middle shade brown there and this outer one. Now, if anything, the 2 browns look a little bit the same, but they don't perform the same. The one in the gold palette is a lot more pigmented. I already know that because that's my favorite matte, and that's one of my favorite mattes in my Natasha Denona brown matte palette. Anyway, and this one didn't perform as well as the one in the gold. So they might have some similar color stories. If you have the gold, you might not want the yucca, but for me, they do have a little bit of variation. Are they both necessary in the same collection? Maybe not, but I'm glad I have it. Okay, today, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna stay a little bit more on this warm side today. So yeah, I'm gonna take this, I'm just gonna work on like this half of the palette here. And it's my very first time to use my Goss 16. I have had this brush for about 8 or 9 months. This is the very last one that was on the Beautylish website, unless somebody else bought one literally the second right after me. Because as soon as this went into my cart, and as soon as I had placed my order for this brush here, the brush went to discontinued on the website and it's never come back. So I'm so glad I didn't wait any longer because I had been eyeing these brushes for some time, but I don't know. I regret not buying them while they were still available, but like I had just learned about Fude when these were still available and when his last holiday set came out, and it wasn't something that I felt like I needed. In hindsight, I wish I would have just bought it anyways. Anyhow, okay, I'm gonna start off here and then I'm gonna work my way into this, actually. Yeah, I'm gonna start off here and then I'm gonna work my way up into this mid-tone one, and then I'm gonna deepen it with the dark brown and apply a shimmer or 2. So let's get going. Okay, I'm gonna start off here. First touch with my new Goss. I am going in with this new brush just to see how it feels because I feel like I'm really comfortable with that shade. So I know how it performs with my Rougher and my Sonia G. Ooh, this is nice. A lot softer than Rougher. Like, I'm not trying to create a super elaborate look or anything. I just want to create a pretty look for the day and check out the gold palette in its entirety instead of pieced out the way that I have had my experience with it so far. I actually never did use it when it was the full gold palette. The first time that I dipped into my shades that were from the gold palette was after I had created my Franken palette. All right. Now, this Goss brush is a little bit softer than like my Rougher, but the tips, because they're tapered and it's got some shorter bristles towards the other end, like, okay, let me get my palette down so I can show you what I'm talking about. Because the bristles are tapered and they, you know, have edges all the way down here, this is a little bit pokey in my, Good catch. This is a little bit pokey in my crease. This one was scratching me, this Wayne Goss one. So yeah, I guess I'm glad I didn't buy like the whole set. I'm okay with just having one. And, oh, Jesus, I'm all thumbs, man. I have a really, really hard time with my dexterity. And I got a little carried away and promised a bunch of my Instagram friends swatches of my Yucca palette compared to a bunch of my other Natasha Denona palettes. And quite frankly, with the wrist issues that I'm having today, I woke up and like my wrist is hurting really bad. My fingers hurt when I move them, and I'm right-handed. So I don't think I'm going to be able to do swatches, especially not swatches of like 5 different palettes, which I feel so bad. I shouldn't have promised that to my friends. I'm not a swatcher. Why did I do that? Anyway, in my opinion, for the purpose of what I just did, although I did get a softer, wispier crease, so I do like the way this went down, I'm perfectly fine with using like a rougher 15 instead. Even though they're a little bit different in the shape, I don't mind this at all. Like I don't really feel like you're missing out if you have rougher compared to Wayne Goss. I really don't. I mean, yeah, the Wayne Goss ones seem really luxurious and they're really raved about, and they are a little bit softer, just like overall. They are also just a tiny, tiny little bit scratchy. So, you know. Okay. Now I'm going to take the next deepest shade. Do I want to do that? Those are really, really close together. Yeah, let's just see how they deepen up together. I'm going to go into this next shade up with a slightly smaller blender. This is the Sonia G Mini Booster. I'm just going to put this on the lower part of my crease and a little bit on the outer edge. Kind of like that. Yeah, see, that did build nicely in my crease with that other shade. I'm just going to blend that again with the Wayne Goss so that those two are nice and cohesive in the crease. Okay. Oh, Jesus. I just got brown shadow on my face. Girl, I'm telling you, I am really struggling with my dexterity today. I don't know what's going on. Where's my foundation brush? Oh my God. Let's hope that that's like played off now. Oh my goodness. Okay. Now I'm going to take a smaller blender down, the soft definer, and I am going to go into the deeper brown. I feel like that's pretty obvious. I love this brown so much. I'm just going to use that for the outer corner, just the slightest little bit, like that. So beautiful. This was why, like this row of mattes right here especially was why I turned this palette into my brown matte palette. I just absolutely love these browns. Oh my gosh. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Not only in the shade and the pigment, the performance, the richness, the blendability, the longevity on the eye all day without any problems, like no fading, no nothing, no fallout. I absolutely love the Natasha Denona mattes from this palette. Oh my gosh. Okay. So tell me that's not stunning. I know it's just like brown, but it's really pretty with my brown eyes and my skin tone and my dark hair. I just really like the way it goes together. Okay, I'm gonna bring this down just a little bit on the outer edge of the lower lash line. I'm just kind of building out the framework, and then I'm gonna go in with a shimmer. Okay. Now I'm gonna take that same shade into the lightest one that I had used previously, and I'm just going to work that over a little bit. blend out this crease with my Wayne Goss. I do like the Wayne Goss a lot though, like just the way that it fits in that little corner. But it is like the slightest bit scratchy. Okay, love the way that looks so far. I'm going to go in with this shadow here on the outer half of the lid, and then I'm going to put this super sparkly one towards the front. Ooh, that's beautiful. I'm going to put it on the whole lid actually for some... Ooh, that's pretty. So one of the things that made me like not even try the palette when it was all intact as the gold palette when I first got it was that I actually don't like gold. I mean, I like it more now than I used to when I first bought the gold palette. I used to think golds looked really ugly, just not like on other people, but just it wasn't a color that attracted me to it to want to use. And so I really don't know why I had bought the gold palette. I bought the gold palette just because I wanted to have all of her palettes. That's the honest truth. And so I thought it would, you know, help me open my horizons and that maybe I would like it one day. And I especially liked it for the teals, but I never even ended up using those, I swear. Anyway, so here's where we're at so far. I'm going to use this super shiny corner here. I mean, I'm going to use this. Oh my God, did you see that? The thing came out of its actual container. Holy sh... Hold on. A fucking catastrophe. Oh my God. Why is this happening to me? Because I'm messing around with this fuck palette like it's not delicate. Okay, I just got to find something to lift it up carefully with. Okay, this palette is so delicate, man. I literally almost lost another shade. 2 shades fell out. Okay, they are not baked in this pan very well. All right. Wow. I'm not moving my palettes around anymore. Okay, literally, I've spent $260 on the gold palette for me to be dropping shades right and left. Okay. All right, that was terrifying. Okay, let me do this now. I'm going to use this shade back here. I'm not going to be showing you up close, okay? And I'm going to just... Lots of fallout with that shade. I should have sprayed it. Yeah, spraying it makes the difference. That's pretty. All right. Do you feel like I need to add some pizzazz? I'm going to go in with this shifty shade here in the corner. I'm going to spray it because I don't want to be let down. Ooh, okay, that's green. Oh my God. That's pretty. Wow. What do we think? I like it. I like the way the colors go together. Okay. Let me just get some like final detail work done. Last but not least, I'm going to go in with the white shade that's in the middle of the top row. And I'm going to use that in my inner corner down here. That wasn't. Let me spray it. That's better. Okay. I'm not going to lift the palette like I normally do. There's the first look with my Natasha Denona gold palette as the gold palette. Let me know what you think. I think it's pretty. I like it. I mean, it's really flattering. It's like an elevated neutral color story with a pop of teal. So I'm really excited to get into the teals tomorrow. Yeah, here's the look. Let me add some eyeliner and some mascara to complete the face, and then we can get a really good feel for it. Okay, friends, here's the finished look with my Natasha Denona gold palette. What do you think? Let me know what you think of the look down below. I think it's pretty. Yeah, I really like the way it looks with my eyes, but honestly, this gold palette, like the golds that it's giving me is actually giving me reminiscence of the Yucca palette, like the overall vibe, not any of the actual shades within the Yucca palette though. So I do feel like they're complementary palettes and not like duping each other out. That's just my opinion. You know, if your budget is a little tighter or you try to really like keep your inventory to an absolute minimal, then you might disagree with my perspective on that, and you might not think that you need them both. So, you know, of course, to each their own. But for me, I really like it. I really like this palette. I'm really happy to have it. And I actually want to add just like a little pop of this gold in the middle. That one's soft. These are all really soft baked. It looks like that one's trying to fall out of the palette too. I'm going to just put that right here towards the bottom for a little bit of like fun or something. Just for a little something, something right there. A little interest there. I like that better. It just gives a little bit more pop in the inner corner on the lower section. Yeah. So let me take a good look at it. I like it. I am happy that I picked this palette up again. I do wish I would have gotten a discount, but whatever. Anyway, yeah, I really like this palette. I'm not going to take this one apart, and I'm happy to have both my brown matte palette and then also my Natasha Denona gold palette. And then if I ever want to just like travel with the sparkles, obviously I wouldn't take my super delicate gold palette anywhere because good Lord, it's surprising that it even arrived to me in one piece with as delicate as it is. But I can travel with these shimmers if I need to. And that way, you know, if anything happens, I mean, hopefully not, but if anything happens, my palette itself, like my gold palette, is still intact. But yeah, so I really enjoyed playing with the palette today. I'm really excited to see what tomorrow's look will be like. So let's go ahead and get into the next look. For you, that's coming up now, but for me, it'll be tomorrow. Okay, friends, I'm back today to do the second look with my gold palette. Today, as you can tell by the vibe that I've got going, I'm gonna play with the teals. Those super delicate little teals that have fallen out and created me quite a little bit of a headache in life. Yeah, I'm going to see what these teals are all about and see whether or not I ended up wasting my money on these palettes. Let's get into the look. On my nails is Tealing Festive by OPI. This is actually from the mini. This is from the mini that is in my Project Polish. And if you're wondering why my face looks super speckled today, that's because I'm not really wearing any foundation. I went in with a little bit of spot concealing and a little bit of Lawless powder, which basically does nothing. And I'm just not feeling like a full heavy face of makeup, but I am feeling a full eye look. So that's what I've got going for today. All right, let me get my eye base finished up and then I'll get you zoomed in and we'll get into the palette. Okay. I'm going to be very careful with this palette. And to get started, I'm going to go with the big fluffy brush into the light tan. No, the lightest tan here that's in the same row as the deep teal. Hadn't used that yet from this palette. I just want to kind of give it a little something to fluff into. See how it's got that like super dark spot right there from where it first placed, even though I was really careful. Now I got to blend that out because it's stuck to my primer. Okay, that doesn't happen with my Singe Beauty brushes, which I could have used that. I could have used them today. I did wash them last night so that I would have them ready today, and I probably will use them, but I just wanted to create today's look with some of my Fude. I just kind of miss it. Been using my Singe Beauty a lot, actually, along with some Fude. Let me get that blended out. Okay. I am really looking forward to checking out this deep matte. This deep matte is what started all of the catastrophes for me. That's some pigment, honey. I've got to be really careful with that palette. This, I'm going to just put it here in the corner. Ooh, that is so much more pigmented than the Natasha Denona Zendo teals. Ooh, that's super pokey. Had to flip the brush over because those edges got real sharp all of a sudden. I guess I had put too much pigment into it, or the way that I like rubbed into the palette scuffed up my bristles or something because it was really sharp. I mean, what else is there to do to this look? It's pretty much done. All I'm going to do is add a little bit of the shimmer. And I am going to see how my Singe Beauty brush does with this really delicate shimmer that fell out of the pan. Okay, so this is that, okay, right there. Ooh, this is that shimmer that fell out of the pan, and both of the teals have been a little problematic for me. I'm going to spray it because I feel like I know better. Ooh, that's beautiful. I'm glad that shade didn't disappoint, because essentially these blues are what I was missing from this palette. And so if they ended up being a disappointment, I was going to be pretty sad. I do want to put something on the inside part, like something else. Okay, I'm going to go into this white bright shade with this Rephr 02. I'm going to spray it. I'm just going to kind of meet that into I didn't want to pick up like any blue onto my brush. Just wanted a little bit of brightness in the inner corner. I mean, that look goes really great with my shirt, but like the look is just okay. I want to do something else still. I'm going to take a little bit of this shade here in the bottom corner. Haven't really used it. Is that the shade that I wanted to do? Maybe not, but let's just see. Ooh. That was fun. Okay, but now can I mimic it? Wow. Let's do a second layer just for, oh my God. That's 2 layers. Are you getting the full effect? It's pretty incredible here in person. Wow. Wow. I really like that. What do you think? Let's finish out the lower lash line. For the lower lash line, and I still need to like blend out the top and stuff. Like I'm not completely done. Just give me a moment. I'm trying to figure out like what all's going on here. I'm going to take the same color that I had originally started off with in the crease. And although this blender is a little bigger than I would prefer, just going to run that across the bottom for a little bit of definition and some warmth. Okay. And then I also feel like I'm going to take some more of that same shade that was originally in my crease on my large fluffy Singe Beauty blender, and I'm just going to add that up here. Try to blend out that top edge where it got a little crazy up here. I'm not sure this is my best look. I just now messed it up. It was better before I tried to go in with the tan. I don't really like the tan now that I've got that gold shimmer in there. Okay, so let me try to take it a little bit more in that olive direction. I'm taking that mustard shade and I'm gonna just change this top a little bit. All right. I feel like the look was better before I got into the brown mix, and I got it a little bit out of place up here, the aqua teal. So that's quite unfortunate, but this is gonna be the look of the day. I'm gonna go in with a little bit more of the teal, just on the very outer edge, and accentuate my lashes. All right, I'm just out of curiosity. I'm gonna go in with that other shifty shade now, and I'm just gonna put it in the back half just to see what happens. Ooh, that was really neat. Tried that again over here. Ooh. Okay. So I'm gonna complete the look with some mascara and eyeliner, and I'll be right back to show you the completed look. Here is the completed second look. Let me know what you think. Let's get a really good look at it. I liked the look until I added all of the tan. If I would have just stuck with the teals and the shimmers, I would have been a lot happier. I really didn't need that tan in there. I mean, it's not bad. It's just wasn't quite the vibe I was feeling. I don't know why I put that in there. I mean, it's pretty. I actually do like it from afar with the tan. It's just, I don't know. It's, it's not my usual to pair tan with blues, although a lot of people do that. So I've been trying to open up to it a little bit, and I don't know, I'm just not sure I like it on myself. Anyhow, I do really love the teals in this palette, and I really enjoy all of the shimmers. So I'm really happy to have gotten this palette again in my collection now as the completed palette. So I'm going to be very, very careful with it. I'm not going to pick it up. I'm not going to show it. I don't want to like hold it up and ruin anything, but yeah. Let me know what you think of this look. Let me know if you prefer look number 1 or look number 2. I would love to know. Also, let me know your thoughts on the Natasha Denona Gold Palette. Like, would you buy it? Have you bought it? Do you own it? Did you declutter it? Did you skip it? For what reason? I'd love to know. So leave me a comment down below, and I would look forward to chatting with you there. And yeah, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to click the like button. It really does help my channel out so much. And I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel and make sure you click the notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.